Grab your cold drinks and turn on your hot sinks. It's time for Season 3, Episode 5 of the HUNKS Podcast.
They're like, you're a Kyle now.
Here's your dirt bike.
My name is Tim.
Cool drinks, hot sinks.
My name's Matt. Matt Nightingale.
Dana Smith.
My name is Rory Fallis.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh.
I was waiting for someone to start talking so I could say it over top of them.
Oh, that's very nice.
I decided that I'm going to start introducing myself when things get back to normal in the James Bond way, last name and then full name.
Yes.
Well, you've got a cool enough name that you can do that, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like
I think?
Nightingale.
Matt
James
Nightingale.
Nightingale. I forgot your first name.
But you know my middle name? Did you guys ever go through a period as a child where you were embarrassed or defensive about your middle name?
No.
No, I was embarrassed and defensive of my first name.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Why?
really?
I just thought it wasn't girly enough, you know? I wanted it to be, I wanted to change my name to Rose.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted it to be as pink as fucking possible.
Was
man.
that pre or post Titanic?
Oh, definitely pre. I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
5 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever
Crazy.
try and get people to call you Rose, like at school? Just like, my name's actually Rose.
I think I didn't. I think at the time I only hung out with like my parents, so I was like, "Guys, you can call me Rose." They're like, "No, definitely not."
I love the idea of Dana showing up to a new school and she like dresses up in a costume, shows up half an hour early. Hey, I heard there's a new kid starting today. We should call them Rose.
You have business cards printed with just Rose on it.
Yeah. You go in the bathroom and you change out of your janitor outfit. Rose is in the room.
My girlfriend's nephew, for a period of time at school, was telling people his name was something else, like his actual name is like Ben.
Yeah.
But so my girlfriend goes and visits him at school. They're walking down the hall. Everybody's like, "Hi, Kevin. Hey, Kevin."
That's so funny.
Nice.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Kevin's here.
Like the whole school knows him as Kevin.
Man. Oh, man. Is he in like the minor leagues for Just for Laughs gags? You know?
He's playing some sort of long con. He's going to rob the school.
Yeah. Everyone knows you need like a hacker, you need a bomb expert, and you need a Kevin
You need someone with a different name.
Yeah, yeah.
on the inside. So, HUNKS listeners, you'll notice that we're on the 2-week schedule now. We've tapped our brakes a little bit while Manitoba sorts out a bit of a mess, let's call it. Brian Pallister, it's like somebody gave him a football and he was playing hockey, and he dropped both. So HUNKS, we're just we're on a bit of a hiatus, but we're really excited about some of the great guests we have lined up for you in this summertime series. Maybe I'll just take a minute and plug the Patreon. We got a couple fun things popping up on there, including a guest segment that we've been doing. You may have noticed in the last one with Erica Sigurdsson, where we play a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
That is true.
Yeah, I can attest to that. And they're really funny.
Yeah.
Should we give him a taste test of like what a Fuck, Marry, Kill, what that is? Like, do you need to explain that?
Well, apparently we do. Or did we have to Erica? We did to
Yes.
Rusty for sure. And I feel like with Erica, she wasn't completely familiar with it. Is it not as common as we think it is?
Yeah, I think it's just something
maybe.
that we play a
Yeah.
lot because we're mean people. But like, I thought that everyone was as mean as us. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, Tim and I were playing Fuck, Marry. It's fun what you learn about yourself. When
You
you're
guys
playing
played
Fuck,
in
Marry,
bed?
Kill. Yeah.
Me.
Which would you like to do right now?
We only ever get through the first two.
So far, there's always
Someday.
time.
But you learn a lot about yourself. Like I was like, okay, so Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, or Taylor Swift. And
Yes.
I hadn't really put much thought into it, but I was like, surely like J-Lo or T Swift are going to be on top because I currently like them, whereas Shakira it was more like 12-year-old Dana liked them a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, my reasoning, I was marrying Shakira.
Really? That is surprising.
So marriage is the top rung for you on that.
What's
whole
that?
thing. So marriage is the top rung.
Yeah.
That's the highest
Yes.
pedestal you could put somebody
Yeah,
on.
it's the someone that I could spend the most time with, but
Yeah.
also with financial security, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get, you got to weigh the different things. Who am I going to have sex with? Who am I going to marry? Whose blood is going to be on my hands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that on our Patreon with various guests.
Yeah. And we're going to play one with our guests later today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But before that, we got to catch up. I haven't talked to you guys in forever.
It's true.
What is everyone
True.
watching, reading, listening to, absorbing? What's everyone doing?
Zelda, playing Zelda games. That's my life.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I recently had to legit quarantine, no outside interaction for 2 whole weeks, during which I started Mad Men for the first ever time in my life.
Oh, for the first time.
Yep.
And how did you like it?
I love it. I'm only mid season 2, but I think it's great. Drinking a lot of whiskey now.
Yeah. That'll
Yeah.
happen.
Holy.
Start
Are they
coming up
ever
with
drinking
great
from
ads.
9 a.m. on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it made me miss smoking again.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah, we've been watching that show Peaky Blinders, and they're having darts constantly on that show.
Oh, and
I'm
just
like,
slamming back whiskey
looks
nonstop.
so good.
That what always makes me want to smoke is the girl with the dragon tattoo. Now I know she's not a person
Really?
necessarily to aspire to, but she also is kind of a hero. Like she is definitely the hero in it. She's like the anti-hero. No, maybe just straight up hero actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I like that type of character who's sort of like the outcast do-gooder.
Yeah, but
with like a specific set of skills.
And she's
Yeah.
For
tiny
vengeance.
and so mad
Yeah.
and doing something about it and
Yeah.
just smoking nonstop. And I'm talking about the Swedish version. I don't like the American one.
You don't like the American
Well,
one?
no, that's not fair. It's hard for me to tell because I saw the Swedish version first, and so that one's cemented in me. And I feel like it's a better movie. I've never read the books, but I like the movie better. And I really like Rooney Mara. There's both of the women who played the main woman are like Noomi and Rooney. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
They like
Yeah,
kooky
yeah.
names for those for that.
Yeah. I liked the American version because I felt like she was more of a standoffish recluse. I started watching the Swedish version and I felt like she was too confident sort of for the character.
I felt like
feel
I liked
she-
her confidence, and I felt that's what made me feel like she was just like didn't want to be around anyone, and I liked that she just the confidence of that she used the old guy, whereas like I feel like in the American one, Daniel Craig feels more in the driver's seat for it, and I don't like that as much.
Right. I think that her confidence was the thing that she had to overcome. Anyways, in the American, I think that was her struggle.
Yeah.
But what else are we watching?
Tim, go ahead.
Well, like I said, we were watching some Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Now, what is a Peaky Blinder? Is it where you hide and shoot a gun?
Yeah.
It's a gang.
Oh.
It's an Irish gang that plays peekaboo mostly.
Oh.
Yeah. No, they have like that old taxi cab hat, and they have razor blades around the rim of it. So they
What?
take their cap off,
And they swat you with their hat.
Swat you with their
They go,
hat.
Get
And
out
then
of here.
razor
like a
blades.
mosquito, and then it slices up your
Yeah.
face.
Slits
Oh,
up your
God.
eyes.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
And it works
Whoa.
every time.
Yeah, it really does.
Wow.
Yeah,
really
but it's about a family's rise to fame, and the self-destruction of that path, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Pretty riveting.
Do you want to know what the best show on TV is right now, in my opinion? Mayor of Easttown.
Is it Mayor of Easttown?
Hey!
No spoilers. I haven't seen the
Don't
last
you love
episode
it,
yet.
though?
Is
Yes, I do. I feel like Kate Winslet is playing a role that was made for Julianne Moore.
Oh, I feel like Kate Winslet is playing the role made for Kate Winslet.
Well, it was because she's the executive producer, but she's basically playing Julianne Moore.
Huh.
In my opinion.
Okay. Well, I love it.
I heard that's about a horse that gets astray on a certain area of town.
Yes, and runs for mayor. And wins.
It's a landslide.
But it was expected because it was the favorite.
First horse to balance a budget.
So I'm watching Mayor of Easttown. Terrific. I've just started reading again, and I made a big purchase on this website, Thrift Books, which is better if you live in the States, but it still works for here, but you just have to pay a certain amount of shipping.
slightly less thrifty.
Slightly less thrifty, but still thrifty in the long run. You know, like I think I got 5 books that wound up being about $8 each, so it's like cheaper than what you'll get.
So you're getting analog books here.
Oh yeah, analogs. And
You're not a Kindle dindle?
you know, no. I don't have one, and I borrowed a friend's, and I think it was like the very first Kindle, and you know, that came out.
So you're getting all the fumes.
Yeah, it was the size of a room.
It was just terrible, terrible on gas.
The muffler was going.
The gas tanks at the back of it.
And it was just ridiculously bad. It was so fucking annoying. But I would, but I don't know. There's something nice about just about a nice book, you know?
Yeah. What do you do with your books when you're done? Do you keep them? Do you have piles, bookshelves?
I don't get rid of them immediately, but every few years I do a purge, you know.
Gotcha.
But this I ordered 5 books. Some of them I was just like looking for recommendations on like fucking Reddit or whatever. And one that was like very commonly recommended on Reddit was this book. I forget what it's called, and I got it, and I was like, "This is a children's book,"
Oh,
but
no.
I'm still reading it.
What other books did you get? What are you reading?
I'm reading that children's book, which is more like I'd say it's a book for like 13-year-olds, but it's one of those like Life of Pi, or like or like The Little Prince, or like
Cake Boss.
Cake Farts.
Cake farts. Do you remember going to the book fairs in like elementary school and you just get the novelization of your favorite movie?
I'd just get erasers.
Me too. I was most excited about the erasers. Fucking sick erasers.
I get the novelization of like Back to the Future
yeah.
or TV
Yeah.
or whatever. Anyways, I'd love to see the novelization of Cake Farts.
The novelization of Austin Powers.
But I got a Neil Gaiman book.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And
That's sci-fi.
yeah, it's kind of like fantasy, less sci-fi,
that
more
Neil-
fantasy.
Neil B. Gaiman?
I don't get it.
Never mind. Real quick, Rory. Fuck, marry,
Yeah.
kill. Books, TV, movies.
Oh man, I guess kill books because I don't read anymore. I would fuck movies and marry TV. Like that's just based on current standings.
All right.
TV's definitely on top right now. The best things being made are television, are serialized.
Fair.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you?
I would fuck, Movies. I'd kill TV, and I would marry books because they put me to sleep.
Kill TV. Crazy.
Yeah, see, this is where
would
it's like,
marry
I
books.
think that where I'm like, yep, TV is at the top, but I think I would do the same, where it's like, I like books because I also like that you can listen to them. Like, this includes audiobooks, Rory. So I think I'm going to marry books.
Yeah.
Fuck movies because movies are my first love. Nah, but or do I fuck TV because I
Nah,
can just
kill
keep
movies.
fucking it, you
Yeah.
know? I'm going to kill movies.
TV now is like an 8-hour
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to kill movies and I'm going to fuck TV.
Yeah. Yeah, like everyone thought radio was going to kill TV or TV was going to kill radio. That's how it went, right? And it did, and it
Yeah.
got stronger, and now it's coming for movies.
Hey, Tim, you want to keep it down up there? You're banging around. And I'm hearing
Sorry.
it. Shut up.
Well, should we
Quit
toss it
pressing
over
your
to our
butt
guest?
against the floor and then farting, okay? I can hear the ripples.
He's pulling his pants down and pressing his bare asshole to the floor.
I'm nervous.
I heard a neighbor do that once.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Did you confront them? Or did you just do it back?
To the ceiling.
Yeah.
Strap
Yeah, like the broom handle on the.
Sack a bunch of
I just got a
chairs.
ladder, press my ass on
Ate
the
a lot of
ceiling.
beans.
Got a weird harness.
Your butts are farting on each other through the ceiling and the floor.
Having a passive aggressive fart fight.
Fart fight. That seems like a good time to throw it over to our guest, eh?
Statistically, someone here is with the FBI. I have to say it, okay?
They keep recruiting me because they keep trying to recruit because my mustache.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, I'll take a job, and then I don't show up. I just collect the paycheck. Or I show up and I ruin their bathroom.
FBI's bathroom.
You get your
Let me introduce our.
Your background is very much trying to prove that you're not with the FBI,
It's such a narc background.
right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
teenage girl's room behind.
Hey, fellow kids.
got a poster up that says heavy metal band.
There was a situation a few years ago. I used to be a ridiculous, stupid, garbage-eating anarchist. And there was this one time we were at a protest, and there was this new anarchist around, and he had scribbled like Sharpie marker on his jeans to fit in. Yeah.
Did you ever find out if he was a narc?
Oh, he was an obvious cop.
But did you get definitive proof?
No, I mean, no, because you know what they do? They arrest them.
He got picked up. Yeah,
They
picked up
arrest
after
them
high
and then-
school in a cop car.
And then they take them back to the station. And they're like, well, that didn't work, I guess.
He's still wearing his police hat.
Forgot to take off the hat.
I didn't get to introduce our wonderful guest today on the podcast. Comedian, writer, written for TV shows such as The Beaverton. This hour is 22 minutes. That hour is 22 minutes. Who has 22 minutes anyways? It's Nour Hadidi.
I was also on So You Think You Have 22 Minutes.
So you think you're smarter than 22 minutes?
Yeah.
Who wants to be 22 minutes?
Look who's got 22 minutes now.
Special Victims Unit.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Ow.
But yeah, welcome to the Hog Podcast. Honks Podcast.
Welcome to our Hogcast.
How are
Known
you
as
doing?
the Hog Hour. How's everyone's hogs?
Well, as a Muslim, I find that very offensive. Hogs are not part of my diet.
We thought you might. We thought you might.
Okay. Little hazing.
Yeah. Backpedal.
I will say, I thought you were going to say welcome to the Hot podcast, and before the podcast, I Googled hunks, but I forgot to do hunks comedy, so I just Googled hunks. Male stripper poster showing up. It was a hot podcast, really.
Yeah, we know those guys.
Yeah.
We know those guys. They
Close
are
personal
much
friends.
more successful than us.
Yeah, and funnier.
Those guys' dicks are so funny.
Talk about a hogcast.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to be on the podcast because I was unofficially on the sketch show that you guys had on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes.
We dabbled, the audience got to see me a bit, but not too much. But now I'm officially on it. I'm here. They're right for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And welcome.
Thank
Have
you.
you-
Welcome. You did we had you on the Skid or Die, and you did that stand up in the park, which was such a brilliant
funny.
idea.
Yeah.
So great. How did you come up with that?
It
Were you
was
just
really
like it sitting in a park and like this could be funnier.
going crazy at home.
Yeah.
I don't think people know as comedians when it first happened, like, we all thought it was going to be 2 weeks. And I genuinely thought, I was like, I'm going to get on stage in 2 weeks. We're just going to flatten the curve. This is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think around the 2-month mark, the more it went on, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have all these premises in my head that I need to get out.
Yeah.
And I had done one in my living room, but I just didn't want to do it at home. I felt like if I was outside, I'd be inspired by nature and the trees and I could riff on that.
Yeah.
So that's just how it happened because I just really wanted to do stand-up.
Yeah.
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 Has there been much stand-up coming back in Ontario at all?
Well, I don't know if you know this, we have a very incompetent government.
Oh,
You too.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, I mean, they opened and closed and opened and closed. So we got to do indoor for a bit and then it was only outdoor and then they shut everything down back in November. So I got to do a few shows since April, since I recorded that stand-up in the park. But I actually think I would have rathered we just did the right thing, locked everything down, and then safely reopened, kind of like what all the comedians in New York got to experience, which is like safely doing shows outdoors, and then everyone quarantined and they've got vaccinated everyone, and now they're back doing indoor shows, and I'm so jealous.
Oh, God,
like
Yeah.
Like the East Coast as well,
you know what? I've never been jealous of anyone in Newfoundland. Okay?
Yeah.
And I grew up in the Middle East, you guys. Okay, I've been through some shit. I've never seen the appeal until I'm like, okay, maybe I could make 4 guys named Kyle. Better than nothing.
4 guys named Kyle who drove 5 dirt bikes to the show.
Yeah. One guy had 2 dirt bikes strapped to his feet.
Everyone's biking now in the pandemic, right? Like, I don't know about how it is with you guys, but everyone's got an e-bike or like bikes are sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have bikes?
I have one.
We're
Yeah.
a great bike city. It's flat here. No hills.
Right. It's biking
Great.
made easy. Yeah, it's biking
Yeah.
for dummies.
That's why they all get
I love
stolen.
that. We have hills and they still get stolen. That's how it double sucks for us.
You're
gotta
going
get
to
down
earn
that
that
hill.
bike that you're stealing.
And when I moved here, I actually lived in Montreal first, and that is one, it's literally like Mount Royal. It's like the whole city's on a mountain.
Right.
So it was like when I came to Toronto, it was like I was still scared. I think that biking in a city is very scary, especially in Montreal.
Yeah.
So it actually took me 5 years to get the courage to get the only reason I got a bike was because of the pandemic, because I needed to. I was really scared.
Yeah, those tracks on the street, those are scary things. I biked in
yeah.
Toronto, and that's a heart attack right there.
Is, people don't say this enough, but Winnipeg does beat Toronto in some areas of life.
Yeah. We
Well.
don't put tracks in the street like an idiot. No. Tracks are for trains, dummies.
I almost lost my balance on Queen because I passed one of those streetcars.
Oh yeah.
I literally, I swear to God, it was a miracle. All 4 limbs were off, and I regained balance,
Whoa.
and I prayed to God. I've never biked on Queen since.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Whoa.
Oh.
I will only go places on the bike lane. Even if it takes me an extra 10 minutes, I will stay on the bike lane.
Do you do the helmet? Little elbow pads and stuff like that?
No. You've got the glasses and the helmet. I have 3 locks though, so I make up for it in other ways.
Tim, when you ride a bike, are you wearing full goalie equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the kid from the Little Giants, just covered in padding.
Yeah, couple oven mitts, gloves. Yeah. Biking is one of those things that's so delightful, but can go so wrong so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I ride a bicycle, I'm in a constant fear that the front tire is going to fall off. Because it happened to me when I was a kid. We had some Canadian Tire bike or something like that. And I'm just ripping it down this gravel road, and then the front tire just pops off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
and then
not a normal thing to happen.
I know, but I live in constant fear of it now. It's not normal. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Check
think
your
so.
bolts, people. Check your bolts.
And we can change that to Walmart if Canadian Tire wants to pony up some money on the pod. We are for sale.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, when I first came to Canada and I saw Canadian Tire money, my mind was blown.
Oh, yeah.
The confidence of a store to print its own. My God.
Yeah, they were way ahead of Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's the OG Bitcoin is Canadian Tire money.
Well, it's kind of cryptic.
How old were you when you moved, if I may ask, Nour?
I was 17. I was 17 for 3 weeks, and then I turned 18 in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Okay. And had you always been on the stand-up track, or did that only sort of pop into your head once you arrived in Canada?
Yeah, I had always loved comedy. I would always watch movies or sitcoms, but I had never really seen stand-up growing up in the Middle East. I actually only discovered it as an art form on YouTube in my dorm room. I would watch late night shows. And I would watch specials. And then I just loved SNL as well. And I actually wanted to be in sketch before I started stand-up. That was kind of why I did it. Yeah, because I graduated from undergrad and I didn't know people in comedy and I didn't know about Montreal Improv at the time, and I don't even think it existed.
Right.
So the only way for me to do comedy was to do it by myself, which is at open mic nights. And, I was an immigrant and I had this post-grad work visa, and my family's all in the Middle East. So if I didn't get a job, I would have to move back to Jordan. So my job was my priority. I wanted to get a job, pay rent,
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd stay in Canada. I always thought I'm going to get some experience. I'm graduated from McGill. I'm going to work in banking, and then I'm going to go home. And then the more you live here, it's really hard. Your identity gets shaped when you're, Montreal was the city of firsts, first apartment, first job, first time away from home. And my sister actually moved to Montreal, but she moved when she was 26 and I moved when I was 17. And we have completely different experiences because way of life is completely different. So I'm so used to this way of life now, and she had a really hard time adjusting.
Yeah.
So, I basically did not even think comedy was and even when I moved from Montreal to Toronto, it was because Montreal makes it really hard for people who are not from Quebec to put down roots there because of the French language laws. Sorry if I'm rambling.
No,
by the
it's
way.
all
This is
wonderful.
fascinating.
The question. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Montreal makes it really hard. It's a very much a transitional city. Because of the French and because of the culture. Like I worked at a bank and I would interview for other positions because I wanted to grow. I worked in risk management, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. But if you're not from Quebec and you don't like have a master of the language, they don't, and like, because they won't let you work with clients, right? And so it makes it really hard for someone young to stay there.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Toronto, I hadn't decided, comedy is the main thing, because I wasn't making any money and I liked it, but I was getting on stage not like 2-3 times in Montreal was, I did everything I could that week. And you feel good about it, you know, because you don't know that you can do more. So when I moved to Toronto, I was like, I'm going to move here for both reasons. Comedy's better here and finance is better here. And then the job I had in Montreal, I really liked, but the job I had in Toronto, I hated. And it pushed me more towards stand-up and comedy. Yeah, so that around the 2-year mark of my job, I got an offer to write for a show. And I had been wanting to leave forever. Like, I literally wanted to leave 3 months in. But, you know, I wish I had spoken to someone. You know, I was scared of quitting. I didn't know if I could find another job. And like,
that's a huge like, had you quit a job before, like quit a major? Yeah, that's a huge first.
Yeah. And not having something like consistent lined up. That was really hard.
Yeah.
Because I had a 2-week writing job and that was great because you get up, you go somewhere, you're with people. But the thing about those jobs is whatever issues you have in life, you will never deal with because you don't have the time to. You're up, you're working, and then when you're not, you're resting, and then on the weekend, you're doing something. Whereas to go from 6 years of that to literally just sitting at home, like, okay, I have a show at night, and then what? Like, all the come up again.
Yeah.
You know? You all are.
How did you find adjusting to the insecurity of the gig economy, that is comedy, compared to the iron rice bowl of finance?
Yeah, I think I was just so naive that I didn't even think of it as an issue. I just always thought, I love comedy. It's such a release. And I didn't realize how big of an impact it would have. You know, it also shifts because when it's your fun thing and your release and then it becomes your job, there's a lot of pressure that's put on it that kind of takes a lot of the fun and silliness and just the release aspect of it away.
Totally.
And honestly, like, I wish I had an answer for that. I just winged it. And now I don't think I could ever go back to a 9-to-5 because you feel chained to that desk, right? And you're so tired by the time you leave and your life isn't yours, I feel. So, and I'm honestly like, I graduated in finance, but I'm anti-capitalist now because the gig economy, like being in the arts is actually, people always say, it's like hard being in the arts. But once you move from like a 9-to-5 to the arts, you see the difference.
Yeah.
Like in the arts, we don't have support for mental health, right? But the people who have those jobs and make so much money have free benefits for mental health. Like, it's so imbalanced. The capitalist world we live in, it's really unfair. And I don't have to tell you guys, especially in Canada, where like, we don't have a star system. We don't have a sketch show like SNL. We don't have, even the Canada Council of the Arts doesn't recognize us as an art form, right? So like, there are all these things against us where if we were all in America and we had quit the gig economy and gone into the arts, I just feel like it would have been a little bit easier because there's more gigs, there's more opportunities, there's, you know, Tim books something, he brings you guys with him.
Maybe.
And like, you know, like.
But yeah, for sure.
Wow. True what they say of the white man in Winnipeg. He is But yeah, there's this hope in other countries, even the UK and Australia, where you could start in an open mic and 5 years later you're a household name, and we just don't have that hope here. And I think that makes it harder for the gig economy, because you can be successful and you can work hard and you can book a gig here or there, and you could kill a TV taping, but what you're coming back to, your life will be the same. It's not going to move the needle for you. I think that's the hardest part. Whereas at a 9 to 5, if you kill a presentation, you get promoted. There's a ladder, there's a hierarchy. Like, you have a coach, there's a position, there's a title.
Clear
like
path.
A clear path, exactly.
Yeah. Set up for that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's really hard about comedy. There's no HR, and it's not a meritocracy, unfortunately. You know, we all... Right now, is that what you said?
No, I said right.
Oh, sorry. Right, yeah. So that's another really hard thing, is that sometimes you know that you can interview for something, you could be considered for something, and you know you're really good, but they give it to someone who may have a bigger following than you, or, you know, like, you work really hard and there's no rhyme or reason. No, that's merit. That's merit. Like, that's another thing, is that there's no rhyme or reason as to why someone gets something. But I think that's something that I learned from the corporate world, where people have their favorites. And it is, it's a bit more clearer there, because people are keeping track, but there are some, like, politics that happen. And so when I moved into comedy, the checks and the balances. Wow, I should give you my financing.
I only know checks.
That degree is the biggest joke in my apartment. I swear to God. It's like, my friend asked me to add 2 numbers and I couldn't even do that.
1 and 2.
So does that make you want to leave Canada?
Yes.
Like, are you thinking that might be in your future, that you might do that? Yeah.
And I don't want
Where would you go?
I think I would go to New York.
When
I was in Montreal at the bank, I took like 2 months off and I finished all my work ahead of time, and I went back and I just did open mics, and I did
in New York.
I took sketch writing in New York. Yeah, I did level 1 at the UCB, and I was not a good comedian back then. I was okay. I was 2 or 3 years in, but it really gave me a push. Like, in New York, you really have to like go for it. Like, in a small scene like Montreal, you'll get booked just because you're there, and no one cares about you in New York. Like, you have to go sign up at the mic, meet people, do things.
Footwork.
It doesn't matter if there's 2 people in the crowd. This only set I have tonight. I'm gonna do this. So I was really shy, and sometimes I still am. I have a bit of social anxiety. I feel like it still comes out, but that was a really nice experience. And so I've throughout the years, I've performed in cities in the States like Boston and Chicago. I've kept it more on the East Side. So I'll do a week in every city. And I just feel like there's more comedy there. And I'm just, right now I'm thinking of going just to stay there for a bit, because Ontario's in a lockdown. But I've always, in the back of my mind, thought like, and I keep money whenever I book something. Like, I have a little stash that I keep for my O1 visa.
So like,
and I like, it's unfortunately no one I know wants to go. Whenever a Canadian comic, it's never like, oh, I want to go to America. It's like, I have to go. You guys noticed that? It's like,
we've talked about that, and I feel like we definitely, there's the thing of Western alienation, right? So smaller comedy markets like Winnipeg, it's like, if we feel so, I don't know. I've been thinking about that too. Like, where should comedy take place? But then, I don't know. There's ways of being creative and doing comedy from anywhere in the world, is what we're kind of finding with COVID and doing all this Zoom stuff. But yeah, when it comes to like stand up and doing it, that seems like the place to do it. I mean, it's hard though. It could be hard. It could be fun.
Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I've been doing stand-up full-time since 2017, and I truly think every year I make it is like a miracle. You can never be sure. In Canada, I have to do everything.
Yeah.
I do voice. I audition for voiceovers.
Yeah.
I write for shows. I do stand-up. I audition for TV roles. Like, it's like a quilt in Canada, and it's really up to the comedy gods to help me figure out how I'm gonna make it this year. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And on one hand, yes, I am a full-time comedian. I don't have a 9-to-5. I don't have a boss. And honestly, that's making it for me. Honestly, that's part of it. Like, a lot of us think that making it is like having a Netflix special or like those things I've learned, because I wrote on 22 Minutes, and I came back and I got diagnosed with depression.
What?
Okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was one of my dreams in life, is to write for a show. And then I realized that I had to rethink, because
you had to be in
Toronto's
Newfoundland?
very competitive.
Because you had to visit Newfoundland?
Yeah, that's what it is. No, you know what it is? I think that because I was in finance, I had a list of goals that I wanted to achieve to justify quitting my day job. And I think Toronto is a very competitive city, and you kind of lose a lot of the joy or reason. You lose the reason why you do it. You get caught up in the competition and the clicks and the booking things.
Yeah.
And then I was writing on a show, and it was a really competitive, harsh environment. It was not fun. I never thought writing jokes for a living could be so stressful.
Jesus. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I had to come back, and I had to really rethink why I do comedy.
Yeah.
Because I had checked everything I wanted off my list. And I went into therapy. I quit stand-up. I took 3 months off in the summer. Wow. And I was just like, I never asked to do any shows. If someone asked me to do a show, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a way healthier place with comedy, because I do it because the act of joke writing truly makes me happy and it brings me joy. And I enjoy the work itself. Whether someone books me for a gala, whether someone gives me a special, whether someone hires me, that is not a goal of mine, because that is not something I can control.
Absolutely.
I cannot, right?
Yeah.
What can make me happy? If I write a new joke, if I put out a good album, if I have people who come out to see me, that's such a healthier attitude and outlook and list of objectives that I can control, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
and
the
you
work
can
is itself. Sorry.
Totally.
Rory.
Yeah. And you can work to put yourself in the position to be seen for those things, but you have no control over whether you're going to get have, like you said, to have booking a gala be a goal is, it just doesn't really make sense, because you can't, like you said, there's no ladder, there's no path to it. It's not a meritocracy. So there's no steps you can implement to even make that happen.
Did the gala, and I bombed. I bombed, you guys. I did the gala. I did the Tiffany Haddish gala. It started 45 minutes late. It was the third gala of the night. I got up on stage at like 2 a.m. or like 1 a.m. And I did very okay at best. People were falling asleep, you know? You put Fortune Feimster up first. You know, you had Gina Yashri, these big energy acts. And I'm just very much, I'll be
like, witty sarcasm.
Punch, but I'm not like, what's up, Obama?
Yeah.
And I did that, and then I went back to my hotel, and I was like, is this it? This is what I'm working for?
Yeah.
It's like, and then once it was over, I was like, okay, so what am I going to do now? I did the thing I wanted.
Right.
And I think that was the summer leading into the fall where I went to 22.
Yes.
So that was a whole year of like really weird feelings and like wondering what it is I'm doing in comedy.
Recalibrating what you want out of it.
Yeah, and you can't say no to any gigs in Canada. Like, I have to say yes. If they give me a gala, I'm going to say yes. If they give me a writing job, and even though I hate it, because the thing at 22 is they only give you an offer for 3 weeks at a time, and they keep track of all the jokes and sketches that make it in. So you're at the edge of your seat at the end of every week wondering, like, you feel like your life depends on the jokes that make it. Like, that's not a healthy place
And
to
if your
be.
jokes don't make it, I heard they don't let you use the bathroom.
They give you a shoe.
I wish that was the only punishment. Make you wish you weren't born. I swear.
They recreate your birth certificate and then burn it in front of you.
They're like, you're a Kyle now, and you live in.
Here's your dirt bike.
Here's your dirt bike.
Yeah, for me, I love that. I love that notion of just resetting. I think the bigger expectations you put on something, the less gratification you're going to get out of it. You know, and for me, like, as long as I can park my Jaguar in my 6-car garage, I'll be happy at the end of the day. You know.
Well, and it's the stuff. It's like, what can you control? Like, what is it's just like whether it's just how much you're writing and like how much you're enjoying yourself and how much you're going up on. I mean, you can't control whether people like you or what shows you get on, but you can continue writing because you like it.
Yeah, you can't force that gala, but you can have your gala set written and polished and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and honestly, you should do comedy not because you want a gala, but because you want to do comedy.
Yes.
Gala is 2 things for me now. Whenever I get a TV taping, I just think, number 1, paycheck. Number 2, a clip I can post to get more fans. That's
right.
I see it as a pure business transaction. A lot of people see it as their worth is tied to whether a booker let them into a festival.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, you know? And the festival, like, you don't know, it's like casting. It's like casting a TV show. Just because you didn't get cast doesn't mean you're not good.
Yeah.
You know? And people are always like, I showcased 6 times and I've never gotten it in. I'm never showcasing again. What is this ego?
Yeah.
What is this entitlement that you deserve? Nobody deserves anything.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
You're hurting yourself.
You know?
Yeah.
We could be back on the land, you know, making mud huts.
Yeah. I'm starving right now because nobody has fed me, and that's ridiculous. I've got a great mouth.
Yeah.
All of my teeth work, and I should be fed. Frankly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, my tongue is 3 times too big, but so what?
I booked a gala once, but it turns out it was just a big bag of apples. So it's a little apple joke we'll cut out. Thanks, Rusty. Thanks for cutting that out.
My fellow immigrants, gala is a form of apple.
Yes. When I just took one. I just came from outside.
I checked. It's fucking raining.
I checked the rain. Everything's fine. I'll be at your
I'll
office.
see you at 7.
Like as planned. Oh boy. Hey, what do you guys say about playing a game? You guys want to play a game?
That sounds great.
Okay, great. Let's play
Yeah.
2 Truths and a Lie. That's our favorite game to play on the Hunks podcast. Basically, you know what happens. One of us says 3 things, 2 of which are true, 1 of which is a lie. Everybody else has to guess what is the lie. And this week, Nour Hadidi is going to help us out with those 3 statements. Are you ready, Nour? You feel confident?
Yes, I do.
Okay, take it.
Was that a lie? Who
Take it
knows?
away.
Okay. I have never been to Europe.
Okay.
I have never had Taco Bell.
Whoa.
Oh.
I grew up with an irrational fear of dogs, but I now love them.
Well
Lies
played.
and truths, probably.
So we got
Gotta be true.
Europe, Taco Bell, and dogs.
Yeah.
Now, my first thought is how how strict are you being with this never been to Europe thing? Because I would imagine you'd have to have a layover of some sort coming from Jordan to Canada.
Well, I'll have you know that the Jordanian airline, Royal Jordanian, has nonstop trips from my capital, Amman, to Montreal that would fly on Mondays and Fridays each week.
Oh.
Now, is that a lie?
They also have them from New York and Chicago. But to answer your question,
Well, you don't have to give away whether it's a truth or a lie.
Right. So,
Yeah, well,
okay.
I think that the lie is the Taco Bell.
That'd be a great one. That's a great sneaky.
I think that you only eat Taco Bell. Let's say that.
Taco Bell.
Only ever eaten Taco Bell.
But since they introduced the Dorito outside the shell, what is it called? Double Crunch? Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like the dog one is the lie. I think you had a rational fear of dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's rational.
Okay. I am going to say that the Europe one was the lie, and you stopped in to London to have some Taco Bell.
Oh.
They don't make tacos anywhere like they do in London.
No, so then you're saying that there's two lies, Tim.
Then I'll say went to London to try the Taco Time.
Ah.
Okay, so where are we here? Rory, what did you say?
I'm saying dogs. I'm saying the fear of dogs.
Dogs is the lie.
Is the lie.
Dana, what did you say?
I said
Bell's
Taco
lie.
Bell.
Tim, you're saying
Europe.
Europe is the lie? Okay, I'm going to go with, I think that Europe is the lie as well.
Huh.
Okay.
I'm second guessing myself.
No, Dana,
because,
I'm second guessing myself. I think that you're going to be right, but I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking.
Guessing both of you.
Oh my God. No, I feel like Taco Bell. I'm sure that there's tons of people who've never had Taco Bell.
Right.
Good people, better than I, you know?
God, fearing people. People like you and me.
People better than me. Okay, well, no, you know what? Whatever. I'm whatever. Well, if I lose, I lose.
Okay, Nour, why don't you crush our dreams here?
lie is that I have never been to
Oh, I knew it. I should have changed.
Yeah, I actually would have layovers over the years, but I was never allowed to leave because I had a Jordanian passport. But I got a visa to go with my family, so I had to get a visa to go to a wedding in Greece, and then I met up with my family in London. So I have been to Europe once, and I've never had Taco Bell. That's true.
Wow, good for you.
Must be nice.
And don't worry, I find other ways to get diarrhea. Don't you worry, Dana.
Yeah, but even as like a layover into KFC.
Man, so in Jordan, not a lot of people like KFC. Popeyes is the more popular
Oh
one.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's understandable.
Yeah.
Popeyes is better.
I had their chicken sandwich, that famous chicken sandwich everyone was clamoring for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Honestly, I felt like I had a hangover for the rest of the afternoon.
So it was really good.
yeah, it was unreal. But yeah,
Were
it
you
was just
like-
oh,
Were you like doing a chicken sandwich stand, like you were on your hands chugging a chicken sandwich?
yeah, I had a chicken sandwich enema. Go straight to the.
You butt chugged a
Gross.
chicken sandwich.
Gross.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
right. Okay.
Yeah, and I did grow up with a fear of dogs, but because my friend Joe was dating this girl named Jess, and she had a dog, and they were long distance. So if I wanted to see Joe when he was in town, I'd have to see Jess and the dog, and that kind of forced me to get over my fear of dogs.
Nice.
Do
kind of-
you know why you had a fear of dogs, or it was just?
Yeah, when I was young and I was walking once with my dad, and our neighbor had a bunch of dogs and she had forgotten to close her gate.
Oh.
So I was just walking by myself and they all came like running at me and barking. And I kind of fell back and hit my head and I had to go to the hospital.
Whoa.
So they didn't bite me, but just an interaction with them made me really scared.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Cross the street if there was a dog. I couldn't even be on the same side of the street. I was so
Yeah.
scared.
I don't blame you. The dogs are
Totally.
Yeah.
They're biting machines.
They are.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
but-
like I had the same kind of interaction with a dog when I was a kid. Like it just jumped up, and I'm sure it was just being friendly, but I was like young enough and alone that it's like, this is freaking me out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. This confirms my suspicion that if I were a member of HUNKS, I would be you, Rory.
Fair.
I feel like physical appearance. Like I'd be, if I took a quiz, those BuzzFeed quiz, which HUNKS member, so I would be that. Yeah.
We
Rory's
should have
always
a quiz on our website.
We should.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rory's always talking about his newest calculator,
Okay.
financial.
I actually I have a bunch of calculators that I don't know what to do.
Oh, really?
with.
Really?
Yeah, I moved apartments, and I'm like, I have no closet space in this apartment. So all the things that I used to hide, like I just don't have space for anymore. And it kind of makes you confront all the things that you keep. So
Yeah.
I have like my calculator from high school. I have my financial calculator from when I took this exam called the CFA. I have another third one just for fun. I don't know why.
It's the weekend calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a spoiler on it.
Neon lights under
But
it.
you guys have those tech. Did you use Texas Instruments in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school
Yeah.
for calculus?
Oh yeah.
Texas Instruments all the way, baby. I feel like high school is designed to put Texas Instruments kids through college.
High school is just a ploy for people in big
Yes. Yeah, my high school diploma says brought to you by Texas Instruments.
It was really hard for me to get rid of my TI.
Very cool.
Yeah, our TI.
I had an STI.
It was really hard for me to get rid of. I say it so often that I feel like I have to shorten it. You know what I mean? Like, I do say it a lot. But I found it very difficult to get rid of because I was like, I feel like this was like $200 or something like that, or $100 in high school, and that was just the most money I'd ever spent.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to get rid of it. But then I was like, when am I
Do you
ever
know what the
gonna use
coolest
this?
thing about those scientific calculators were? The sliding cover.
Yeah.
You guys have, and you could cock it like a
yes.
rifle,
Yeah.
The belt clip.
and you could tape the answers for an
Oh,
exam on
yeah.
the inside of the cover.
I did
Nice.
that.
Did you know
once.
that, Nour? You definitely knew. You got that
I
degree.
did not.
Oh yeah.
Was there like a flap that you could bring down, like the sticker? Is that
You
what you
just
mean?
slide it up.
No, just like you just
Just stick
slide
a
it
note-
just on
stick
the
a note.
inside. You also had to have very,
then
very bad
you would
teachers.
have-
Yeah.
But then you would have a piece of paper that someone could notice.
Yeah. That you have to do it pretty discreetly. Like just slide it up and down.
Well, because didn't the calculator, like it went on the top, but then you could put it in backwards, so you keep the
Yes.
calculator over top of the answers, and
Yeah.
you just be like, "Oh, I'm moving it around for
Yeah.
some reason."
Yeah, halfway through the exam, you'd be like, "Well, I guess I'm done with this." Oh no, I'm not done. I thought I was going to do the rest of the exam, freehand off the top of my head.
I tried to.
What did all of you study? I would love to know.
Well, theater, obviously. I make poor decisions.
But Dana also women's studies.
Oh yeah, theater and women's studies. So, two very profitable.
I have a degree in politics that I
Wow.
that for a while I kept folded up in my wallet with a list of my enemies written on the back. True story, actually.
That's so funny every time I hear it.
I recently framed it, but you can see the fold marks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There it is. That's amazing.
My God, your degree is very small. I will say. What university is that?
The tiny university.
Yeah. A university for ants.
Mini you.
McGill one is like this big. It's
Whoa.
like
Oh,
they have
wow.
they have an ego.
Yeah.
They want to.
They can afford the
You know?
paper.
They expect you to
Yeah.
pull up behind a plane.
Yeah.
When I got to shove this inside a scientific calculator. So.
Yeah. Yeah, when I went to go buy my scientific calculator, they just gave me one of those big calculators old people with bad eyesight use, you know? So one of those giant button ones.
Oh my God, remember those? Like your uncle or your
Yes.
aunt always had one at
Yeah.
home. And I love the one that would print paper.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
noise was so satisfying.
It came with a green visor. Yeah.
Brett.
I have a double degree, or no, I have a degree,
half a
a
degree?
Bachelor of Arts. It's a
Sorry.
double major in business and dramatic arts.
Wow.
I wanted to be a businessman, and I was studying for
You wanted to be their
a dramatic
dramatic
businessman.
You walk into the boardroom.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
You have a cake.
Yeah. Yeah. This quarterly report has some third act problems. I'd like to resolve this conflict here before we get to the next quarter. But yeah,
Oh
when I
my
went to go
God.
get my degree, I went to the convocation or whatever, and they handed me the what I thought was my degree, but when I opened it, it was just a reminder I had outstanding parking tickets. They made me pay for my parking tickets to get my paper degree.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my God, what university is
The University
this?
of Manitoba. Brutal.
Manitoba.
Again,
Yes.
okay. I'm patterned.
Yeah.
They weren't getting that sweet Texas Instruments money.
Well, you know what I will say? Probably not as many international students attending the University of Manitoba as those as McGill, right?
Probably not.
Probably.
No,
There
tons.
are a lot of
Really?
international students.
There are a
at
lot, but
U of
I
M,
wouldn't
yeah.
imagine more than McGill.
Lots from
Right.
Korea.
I don't
They
know.
make money on that international tuition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's double.
To afford the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it was just 'cause for bad eyesight, they printed on larger font, larger degree.
Yeah. It's so your parents could see the degree.
Yeah.
Pile of money they spent.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that pretty much brings us right to the end of the podcast.
what did you study,
Oh,
Rory?
I went to broadcasting school. That's why my segues are so.
Nightmare.
Yeah, that brings us to the end of the podcast. So thanks for joining us, Nour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Where can people find you online?
At Nour Hadidi. NOUR HADIDI.
Perfect.
And
And
you doing? Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I
You were gonna-
interrupted Rory. I was out of line.
You were going to ask the same
You know,
question I was.
I pretend as a Rory, but I identify as a Tim. I feel like that's who I am.
Yeah.
Same thing as I'm learning.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the business.
Yeah.
He's apologizing, letting you talk. I feel like I'm pulling a lot of Tim.
Rory with a rising Tim. Yeah.
Sorry.
Are you still doing any, or have you done any shows on Zoom at all? No.
I have done a little bit of Zoom shows here and there.
Okay.
Not as much as the beginning of the pandemic, but I did start an online collective for people of color if they want to take writing classes. We've made the classes and the workshops really affordable. We also have scholarships. And yeah, my friend Erin, who used to be the director at the Second City Training Center, is building this with me. And it's been really fun so far. So, we do it on Zoom. So wherever you are, you can just email us nourcomedyclasses@gmail.com, and we sold out our June workshop, but we're going to add one in July. And yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's only 10 people because I want it to be small and to have for people to learn and share.
That's so great.
And it's just been really great. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Sweet.
Awesome. You can find us at HUNKS Comedy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Bandcamp. You can get our debut live album called Mouth Beef, still available, streaming everywhere. And I think that brings us to the end of the podcast. So if you head over to our Patreon, you can hear us play a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill with Nour.
Thanks, Nour.
HUNKS is a sketch comedy group from Winnipeg. Got it? They are Rory Fallis. I've been saying that wrong. I thought it was Fallis. Rory Fallis, Tim Gray, Matt Nightingale, and Dana Smith. Episodes are produced and recorded each week from their homes in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I said each week, but I meant each 2 weeks. Nowadays, we're going every 2 weeks. Thanks again to this week's special guest, Nour Hadidi. Tune in again in 2 weeks' time for another amazing and hilarious and super intelligent special guest that's going to blow all of your freaking minds. And until then, stay cool, stay safe, stay clean, wash your hands, wear a mask, and tell the people you love that you love them. Have a great week, everyone. Okay, bye!